Right, land at the plug-in.
Oh, I got to put these in my hand.
Okay, so we'll have one more forceps out here. Category is retractor. Retractor.
Ooh, it's early. It's okay.
Thank you. Category is hemostatic. What's the name?
Is that Ash McOver?
Kelly.
It's a Kelly. Straight. What is this, man?
Double-edged Converse.
Because you said
Put me on the spot.
I got to. I got to.
Is that a pink color?
This is a
Pen
pen
cutter.
cutter.
Cutting osteotome.
Osteotome, very good.
it does look like a ruler.
Okay then, good observation. Good observation.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. This would be a ruler.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Easy.
For real?
Okay.
What do you think?
Laryngoscope.
Laryngoscope.
Straight.
Laryngoscope or laryngoscope blade?
Laryngoscope blade.
Right. It's not the scope itself, it's the blade. Now I think after this is everything else on here is new. One more thing.
Abiding pituitary.
And umbilical cord cutter. So I'm trying to think how I'm gonna do this first. Category is clamp. This is a Doyen or intestinal clamp or this is a Doyen or intestinal clamp or GI intestinal clamp curved. Same instrument, Doyen, GI or intestinal clamp. Doyen or GI or intestinal clamp. Straight, curved. Curve, straight. Category is hemostatic. Look at the difference in the serrations.
There's a little hook on it.
No, it's not a coker. Not a coker.
No, Alice is not like that.
This is an Allen clamp.
Allen.
This is an Allen clamp.
Alice's husband.
Hemostatic with a tooth on the end. What is it?
Single tooth necklace.
Hemostatic with a tooth on the end. This is an Ochsner-Kocher. This is an Allen clamp.
Can you put them side by side so I can see?
Closed, they look the exact same. The exact same. So when you are in surgery, they give the impression that they're the exact same thing. Do they not look alike?
Yeah, they
turn
do.
This way, they look alike. So what makes the differences in the two? What makes the differences in the two? Not teeth. Oh, because they both have one tooth on the end. Remember that? They both have one tooth. The difference is the serrations. The serrations are different. If it's a GI instrument, the instruments are what? Longitude. They go this way.
Okay.
They're both hemostatic instruments. Their job is to do what? To occlude, to cut off. GI, up and down. Ochsner-Kocher, which people hyphenated, but they are not the same instrument. What makes the differences in the two is the length. But
Okay.
people hyphenate it because most of the time they don't know the differences between the two. So, Allen, Ochsner, or Kocher. You guys probably heard your teacher say Kocher. What is this?
You just did a doily.
I know. Then what is it?
It's a doily or something. Doyer.
Doyen.
Doyen.
Is it Doyen
Or
what?
GI.
Doyen or GI what?
Intestinal clamp.
What type?
Curved.
That's true.
Doyer.
Doyer.
Okay. This is a Fogarty clamp. Fogarty clamp. Fogarty, F-O-G-A-R-T-Y, Fogarty clamp. And as you can see here, there's no serrations or teeth, longitude or lateral. There's nothing there. All you see here is holes. So for when it comes to the Fogarty clamps, the serrations are disposable. When you are doing your case, you clamp the serrations actually into the instrument itself.
Okay.
They come in different sizes. When the case is over, it's your responsibility to remove the serrated snap-ons. It's like a puzzle. They just snap. They fit right into these holes here. They clamp right in. And when the case is over, you have to slide them out. Okay. So what's the name?
Fogarty clamp.
Fogarty. This is a double tooth angled teal tenaculum. Double tooth angled teal tenaculum. Angled.
Like color teal?
Okay. If that's going to work for you.
No, is that how it sounds?
TL. Okay. This is a key elevator. Key elevator. And they come in different sizes. This is a Danny nerve hook. Danny nerve hook. And the hook comes in different dimensions. This is a ring-a-ding. A ring-a-ding.
Like half a scissor.
This is a love root. Love root retractor or elevator. Love root retractor. This is a double tooth tenaculum. Double tooth tenaculum. This is a double tooth tenaculum angled teal.
Okay.
Double tooth tenaculum angled. This is a double tooth tenaculum. This is a Garrett dilator. Garrett dilator, and they come in different sizes, and the size is directly on the dilator itself, right on the handle itself. Different sizes, different lengths. Okay, everybody got that. These are Castro Viejo needle holders. These particular ones are locking, but they also come without the lock as well. So if you were being asked for a Castro Viejo non-locking, it would be without this little things, right? These little locks right here, the inner, correct. As you can see, the grips are different. So because the grips are different, they do different things, but the instrument is a Castro Viejo needle holder. I'll put more needle holders out here. This is a needle holder as well. I mean, not a needle holder. This is a scalpel handle. Lord have mercy, scalpel handle. Knife handle, scalpel handle.
Do I have numbers on it?
Yeah, what number?
Okay. Needle holder. This is a Surratt needle holder. Surratt needle holder. See how this is? See the shape here? This is a Crowwood needle holder. This gold is representation of tungsten carbide. Tungsten carbide, which means that it's a heavier grade of metal. Heavier grade of metal. Tungsten carbide, the instrument itself is a needle holder, and this is a Crowwood needle holder. Needle holder, this is a Surratt needle holder. Category is cutting. This is a Mayo scissor, straight, blunt, and it is tungsten carbide. Category is cutting, and this is a male scissor, curve, blunt, blunt, straight, blunt, blunt, tungsten carbide, OR grade. Category is cutting. This is a Pot Smith right angle scissor, and they come in different sizes. And this gold is representation of what?
Tungsten carbide.
Tungsten carbide, absolutely. This is a needle holder. This is a sterno needle holder. Sterno needle holder. That's our driver, which we use for people who are having who've had chest surgery. Category is clamp. Who's had dance class in here?
Me.
Ballet?
Yeah.
Okay, so you familiar with the plie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when you stand, for those of us, her and I, that have taken dance class at one time in our life, when you stand for a plie, you stand with your feet in this direction right here. So for me, because I am a visual person, when I look at this instrument, what I actually see is a dancer. Y'all may not see it yet, but that's what I see.
Yeah.
See how she's standing?
Mm-hmm.
See how she's standing? With one foot going one way and one going the opposite way. You see that? The name of this instrument is a ballantine.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, thank you.
Ballerina.
Is it a hole in there in the middle? Where, let me see. Could you open it up again? Okay, I thought it had clamps like that.
This is a ballantine clamp. This is a ballantine. Needle. Knife handle. This is a beaver knife handle. Beaver knife handle. And with a missing blade. The blade looks like a screw. It actually screws inside of here. But it's missing, as you can see. To me, all instruments that are, well, a lot of the instruments that are designed for female cases, GYN type cases, are shaped like the woman's body, to me. Ballantine, woman. This is a female. This is an instrument that's used for when you go and have your annual pap smears, and they are used in well, most of them use this. Some of them use actually the sponge tip. This is the packing forceps that they use. The uterine packing forceps. See how he has his arch in his back, or she has her arch in her back. Uterine packing forceps, or either Bosman. Uterine packing forceps or Bosman. What's his name? What's his woman's name?
Edna.
Edna. What about her?
She's not perforating.
She's non-perforating and or dull, whereas he is always
Sharp.
Always snappy and perforating. Absolutely.
Love root retractor. A ring-a-ding.
This is a ring-a-ding. Okay, so now we're gonna get into it a little bit. Oh, this is a wire twister. Wire twister. No serrations, no teeth. It's a wire twister. Okay, so this is where I need for you guys to actually pay attention if you have not for the majority of this class. I need you to pay attention to what I'm saying so that you can see these instruments without seeing the instrument. You guys went over your thumb forceps yet in your other class?
Yeah.
Oh, you have? So you know them?
No, like, not all of them. We went
Just
over
the
some.
two.
Yeah.
It's the Russian.
Yeah, we went over that in the band.
Bear paw. Oh.
Okay, then I don't have to go over them. Sound like you did.
No, you should still go over. We know some of them, but that looks like a bayonet, but it has an end on it.
Okay, so what I need for you guys to do is pay attention. For those of you who do not know the thumb forceps that was introduced to you, I'm going to give you a way to memorize them without seeing the instrument itself.
Oh, Jesus.
But you got to listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
You got to listen to the information that I'm providing you. You got to listen. If you work with your thumb forcep, thumb forcep, thumb forcep, and it has very, 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 very fine teeth, it's a DeBakey. Thumb forcep, thumb forcep, thumb forcep. If it's Coca-Cola in shape, this is what I call it, Coca-Cola shape. Coca-Cola in shape, and I'm asking you what it is. It would be an accent of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a thumb forcep, you're working with your thumb and it has no teeth at all, then it is a pickup of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a thumb forcep and it has one tooth on the end, regardless to what else is going on with the instrument, if it has one tooth, it is a rat tooth of some sort. If you're working with your thumb forcep, and it's narrow at the tip, which is the distal portion that's going to be used in the patient, narrow, then it's a POTS. If it's a thumb forcep, narrow with the indentation, it's a Gerald of some sort. If it's has the impression of a hole, it's a bear claw, or either a Russian. Bear claw or a Russian. If it has an actual hole, it's a singly. It's a singly forcep. If it's extremely narrow at the distal end, then it's a micro of some sort. If it's manufactured totally in blue, it's titanium. If it's insulated, it will be an insulated whatever they're asking for. This is an insulated what? Bayonet. It's insulated with a hole. It's an irrigating insulated bayonet or bipolar cord. Bipolar forcep. They might call it a bayonet. They may call it a bayonet bipolar, which is what it is. Mm-hmm. If it has a hole, which is what you see here, mm-hmm, it's an irrigating. So if it has a hole here, somewhere on the top, it's an irrigating forceps. Okay? So if it's religious, which is what I call it, it's a Bishop Harmon. If it's my favorite of all time, everybody knows my favorite is jewelry. It's a jeweler forceps. This one just happens to be curved. So these are some of the things that I'll be asking you, and trust me, when you go to your clinical site, when you see them, you'll be saying, "Oh, that's Miss Frank. Oh, that's what they did," and people be saying, "What are you talking about?" Okay, so if it has very, very, very fine teeth and you work with your thumb, it's a DeBakey. If it's narrow with the indentation, it's a POTS. If it's narrow with the indentation, it's a Gerald. If it's narrow, it's a POTS. If it's has an impression of a hole, it's a Russian or bear claw. If it's an actual hole, it's a singly. If it has one tooth on the end, it's a rat tooth of some sort. If it's Coca-Cola in shape, it's an accent. If it has two rows of teeth, it's a brown. It's a brown.
Which one did you say was very, very, very narrow tip?
If it's a micro. If it has holes, if it's holy, it's a Bishop Harmon. If it's my favorite,
it's a jeweler.
It's a jeweler. If it's been to the Civil War, it's a bayonet. If it's heavy in weight, And educated, it's a Ferris Smith. I mean, this is a binding. The Ferris Smith is shaped like a, it's shaped like an accent, right? But this is this woman binding. Okay, so I'm getting ready to show you guys. Thumb forceps, thumb forceps, thumb forceps. Very, very fine teeth, manufactured blue. This is a what? Titanium what?
DeBecky.
Titanium DeBecky, absolutely. Pass it around. Thumb forceps, thumb forceps, thumb forceps. Narrow with an indentation. No teeth at all is what?
Gerald.
Gerald what? Gerald forceps what? Gerald pickup. It's a pickup. Thumb forceps, thumb forceps, thumb forceps. Coca-Cola in shape. Two rows of teeth is what? That's brown. Thumb forceps, thumb forceps, thumb forceps. Coca-Cola in shape with no teeth at all is what?
Addison smooth.
Addison pickup.
Okay.
Or smooth is fine. Thumb forceps, thumb forceps, thumb forceps. No teeth at all. It's a pickup. Thumb forceps, thumb forceps, thumb forceps.
Excuse me.
An impression of a hole.
Bear paw or Russian.
Thumb forceps, thumb forceps, thumb forceps. Narrow. Hello. Narrow.
Thumb forceps, narrow.
What is it? Pots. Thumb forceps, thumb forceps, thumb forceps. Very, 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 very fine teeth.
Ooh.
DeBecky. Thumb forceps, thumb forceps, thumb forceps. Religious with a tooth. Religious with a tooth on the end.
Bishop Rattu.
So Bishop Rattu.
Bishop Rattu.
Thumb forceps, thumb forceps, thumb forceps. Narrow with the indentation. No teeth at all. Gerald. Thumb forceps, thumb forceps, thumb forceps. An actual hole on the distal end is what? Singly. Thumb forceps, thumb forceps, thumb forceps. Tooth on the end.
Rat tooth.
Thumb forceps, thumb forceps, thumb forceps. Heavy in weight, and is without him, his woman is who? Bonnie. Thumb forceps, thumb forceps, thumb forceps.
Around.
Coca-Cola in shape. Two rows of teeth.
Brown.
You just say multi-tooth.
I said brown.
You said multi-tooth brown. I wear glasses and don't know my hair. My favorite.
Jeweler.
Curve.
Thumb forceps, thumb forceps, thumb forceps. Very, 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 very fine.
Micro.
Thumb forceps, thumb forceps, thumb forceps. Very, 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 very fine with the hole on the end. Micro singly or micro ring forceps. So, you see that? I mean, you might not be able to.
Yeah.
You may not be able to see it. A lot of these you have to use. They have magnifying glasses. So this is the reason why I'm asking you guys. You got to listen to what I'm telling you. What makes the instrument the instrument? It's going to make it easier for you down the line, because these instruments are also often combined. You can have. Okay, so what is this? Thumb forceps, thumb forceps, thumb forceps. With very, very fine teeth, and at the very distal end, it has two rows of teeth. What would it be?
Micro.
Listen to what I'm saying. What is micro?
Small.
What defines a micro forceps?
Very small.
Very, 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 very fine. very, very fine. This is what I said. I said thumb forceps, thumb forceps, thumb forceps with very, 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 very fine teeth and 2 rows of teeth at the distal end. What is it?
Micro brown. Not a micro.
Brown.
It's a DeBakey Brown. What makes a DeBakey? Very fine teeth. What makes a brown a brown? 2 rows of teeth. What makes a micro? Very, 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 very fine. This is a micro tip. And this is a DeBakey, so I'm passing these around so you guys didn't pay attention. This is a DeBakey. Even though I can have a DeBakey, I could have a micro DeBakey. I could easily ask for very, 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 very fine tip with very, very, very fine teeth. And it would be a micro DeBakey. You see what I'm saying? The instruments are combined a lot. So just like this is a very, 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 very fine tip, and it has a ring all the way through, not an impression, it actually has a ring. So this is a micro ring or a micro singly. It just depends on where they've gone to school or what the facility is calling it. You see? So that's what you have to pay attention to. You have to be I should be able to give you a description and for you to picture the instrument. That's what my goal is.
Okay.
So I should be able to just tell you, I should just be able to tell you the description, and right off the rip, you should be able to tell me exactly what the instrument is. Because if you see it in writing, you should be able to go right to it. Because remember, if you are assembling a tray or you are in a case, just like somebody's friend was saying, you have hundreds of instruments out there. You ain't got time to be looking up. That was this young lady right here, thinking you got to be able to envision it just like that. You got to be able to envision it, which is why I want people to pay attention and not have their head down writing all the time. You got to pay attention to what I'm saying and what the instrument looks like. The rest of it is going to come if you're paying attention to what's being seen or what's being shown. The rest of it will come to you once you see it in writing or someone says it to you. You'll hear my voice. Most people that have been in my class, like the lady just left, been out of here like 10 years, still hearing my voice. Miss Franklin, yeah, you never forget it. Sorry. Sorry. All right? We're going to go over these one more time, and then we're going to go across the hall. This is a Surratt needle holder. This is a Crowdwood needle holder. I mean, yeah, gold is representation of tungsten carbide. These are irrigating bayonet or bipolar forceps. This is the irrigating, but these are insulated. Cutting is the category.
Osteotome.
If it's bold, it's what? If it's bold, it's what? Bold. It's Castro Viejo of some sort. Hemostatic.
That's a straight Doyer. Oh.
Piano.
Okay.
What's the name?
A beaver.
Beaver, knife handle.
Double-edged.
Double-edged. Converse what? What?
Scissors.
Scissor. This is a wire twister.
Wire twister.
No teeth, no serrations, no anything. This is a dilator. This is a Garrett vascular dilator. The size is on it.
Garrett vascular.
Category is clamp. What's the name? Doyen or
GI
or
intestinal clamp.
This particular one is
Curved.
And it also comes
Straight.
Straight. Hemostatic.
Is that 1 tooth long?
Hemostatic. What's the name?
Yeah, Coker. Because the other one is horizontal.
This is an Allen clamp. Very good. Category is cutting. Straight, blunt, Mayo scissor,
Tungsten carbine.
tungsten carbine. Category is cutting, curved Mayo, blunt. Very good. Umbilical cord cutter. Needle holder. What's the name? Sternal.
Uterine.
Uterine what?
Packaging.
Packing, forceps, or Bosman.
Okay.
Double tooth what?
Tenaculum
Very
teal.
good.
That's Pot Smith.
Pot Smith what?
Scissors.
What kind? Right angle. This is a wire cutter or wire. This is a wire cutter. Actually, I was gonna say wire scissor, but it's not really. It's a wire cutter. Straight what?
Skull blade.
Skull blade.
Straight.
What about it? Size is generally on it.
That's a key elevator.
Key elevator. What about it?
The size is on the handle. What's that? A nerve hook?
This is a dandy.
A dandy.
Nerve. Yes, a vein. Nerve hook. Dandy nerve hook. Very good. Been to the Civil War. Bayonet. Fogarty clamp. What about it?
You can clip the serrations in.
Are what? Disposable.
Love root retractor.
Love root. Love
She
root.
think Victoria's Secret.
Love lace.
This is a love lace.
Okay.
So one is love root and one is love lace.
A ruler.
You sure?
Ring-a-ding.
Ring-a-ding. This is the athletic scissor. Plays baseball. Mets. This is a Mets and bomb. What about it? Curve and
Tungsten carbine.
tungsten carbine. This is a tongue blade. Or a mouth guard. This is a dancer.
Valentine.
Valentine.
Double tooth tenaculum.
Sometimes they come with balls on the end.
Upbiting pituitary.
On the double tooth tenaculum.
Yeah.
They have balls sometimes on the end.
Depending on the company.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure they probably do. I haven't seen those with balls. I just seen the towel clips with them.
Oh, okay.
My favorite forceps.
Jeweler.
If it's religious.
That's a facial partner.
If it has one tooth.
Rat tooth.
Rat tooth what? Pick up. If it's a thumb forceps and it has no teeth at all, what is it? If it's a thumb forceps and it has very, 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 very fine teeth, what is it?
DeBakey.
A DeBakey. If it's a thumb forceps and it's Coca-Cola in shape, what is it?
That's an Adson.
If it's a thumb forceps and it has an actual hole on the distal end, singly. If it's a thumb forceps and it has the impression of a hole. If it's a thumb forceps and it's narrow with the indentation.
What's a Gerald?
Gerald. If it's a thumb forceps and it's narrow. Pots.
Pots.
Say that again. What was pots? If it's narrow?
Yeah, it's very narrow.
Very, very narrow.
If it's a thumb forcep and it's educated with a woman, Ferris, which was the wider one, and this woman is who?
Bonnie.
If it's totally blue,
It's titanium.
That's totally manufactured blue is
Titanium.
Holy is Bishop Harmon. My favorite. And they come straight and they also come curved. If it has one tooth, no teeth,
just pick up.
very fine teeth, narrow,
pots,
narrow with the indentation, an actual hole on the distal end,
singly,
Coca-Cola in shape,
Addison,
and been to the Civil War.
bayonet.
All right, let's go.